welcome. It's Danu on Fire, and we're happy to be back at Movenpick, Colombo. Thank you so much for hosting us. And today on the show, I'm with a remarkable girl. Sometimes it's very rare that you find someone who is talented, who is well-spoken, kind, and at the same time who really does care about what the world is turning out to be. Thank you for joining me, Kavindya.
Thank you for having me, Danu.
I'm so happy to have you. She's younger than me, no? Just wanted.
Of course, I'm younger than you.
But you know, when you look at the portfolio of Kavindya, I'm just questioning my existence on earth. But it's remarkable. Let's go back in time. You're one of those people who was annoying in school, no? Like you passed everything well, and all the other classmates.
Like be like Kavindya.
Yes.
And everybody hated me for
Correct,
it.
for sure. You would have been like, teacher, I know the answer. I know. Were you that?
I was like grade 8,
Ah.
and then something happened in grade 9. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Then I was like always in the principal's office.
Right. You toned yourself down a little bit.
No,
and
I
became
toned up.
Toned up in terms of rebellion.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it
That's
wasn't
good.
really, yeah.
That's a good look. That's a good look to have. All right. So that's how you were spotted and you were brought to the spotlight in so many ways than one, because of because of your education.
Mm-hmm.
You were a scholar student and you topped the grade. And I really don't know the exact title. You topped the grade at Lyceum International for what?
So at Lyceum, which was my school, which I love and cherish. Yeah, so it was A-levels and O-levels.
Right.
So I was a little nerdy.
So you topped both.
Yes, so they give you like, they look at, oh my god, like 97, 99, who scored the most in the world and the country and all
you got the
that.
highest in the world.
Yes, for one subject, Danu.
Yeah, but it's not easy. You know, I know somebody who got the lowest in the world for maths. Oh, that's me.
That's you. I was even talking to that. That's also an achievement,
That's a
right?
great achievement.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, I've started to see life in a more positive
Of course.
way. It's an amazing way to be. Yeah. So now, that was your start.
Mm-hmm.
You were also into sports.
Yeah.
Annoying, no? So tell me
You
how.
like research, it's very weird.
No, I'm just asking you were into sports. I just want to know.
I used to do hurdles, you
Nah,
know,
like
like jumping
you
over
jump
that.
over that
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bar,
You
no?
like take 3 steps and jump
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
I did that for a bit.
And that also you have like achieved something. You ran fast and you didn't trip over any of those.
Now this
barricades.
is creepy. It's like 10 hurdles and you have to jump over all of them.
But didn't you?
Yes, so I have to know, Danu.
Yeah, the
Yes.
point is there are people who have taken part in Olympics who have tripped and fallen, but you at Lyceum have just run through the wind and not jumped on earth.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to look at like achievements like that.
Great,
Yeah,
man,
you
great.
should, like,
I
yeah.
never went to the section of the grounds.
Yeah?
I never went there.
Where did you usually stay?
In class or on stage.
That's a better place to be.
Yeah.
On stage?
Yeah, that's where I started. But beyond all of Kavindya, please go ahead and eat. Like
Can we
hosting.
ugly it or it's...
You can ugly it, you can eat the way you want. Let's say cheers to good
Okay,
life.
cheers to life.
So you're going back to the US tomorrow. You're flying out tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
How is Joe?
Does this have... Wait, what?
Joe Biden. How is he?
Oh! You know, when you bring celebrities here and they're like, oh, how's Joe? I'm like, oh, it's great. I met the other day. I'm like, I do not know anybody called Joe. Joe's great.
Is he good?
No,
Is he
not
good?
that he's great, but compared to what we had, I think, not we had, they
Means
had.
they had.
They had.
You have not taken a citizenship because this whole US citizenship is like a huge problem.
It's a big deal. Yeah, it's a
Like,
huge.
We are
it's-
run by US citizen holders.
Exactly.
Are you
no,
there?
I think if I want to run for office, I'll probably get citizenship and come back.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But I have no intention of running for office, so I don't need the citizenship.
Yes, true.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're
my
gonna-
plan.
You're like with a Sri Lankan passport still.
Yeah.
Just suffering at every
Citizen,
count.
citizen.
Yeah.
Yes, every
Just
part,
suffering at
every
count.
embassy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fair
yeah.
enough, fair enough.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
the
good life.
struggle that you have to go through. So you were given a fabulous scholarship first to
Wellesley,
amazing, and from there you moved to
Stanford,
to do your PhD.
Masters. Oh, we can stick with the PhD.
Ah, fabulous.
Yeah,
Have you gotten
PhD.
a PhD part now?
No, man, everybody's
Not yet.
asking me this.
You will get
I
like
think my
3
mom
PhDs.
assumes that I've already gotten.
Ah, see, that's what's so
Yeah,
amazing.
but it's still a master's.
So long years ago, I went for an interview. That's where I first saw you, if you do remember. I checked my memory box and my memory box said no. I saw you on screen test time
Yes.
After that was my second visit, the second meetup with you.
Really?
The first time was for a UN interview to get a scholarship for us to present our case, our projects. Do you remember you came with a big file, and you came with your mum
You were there?
at the youth center.
Yes, in Maharagama.
Correct, I was there. I was seated right next to you. We had a long chat. There you
Of course, I remember that.
go. Please.
But I thought it was the second time.
Did you get it?
I didn't.
I also didn't.
No, I think like when you didn't get it, it means you're on the right side of.
Right.
Yeah,
When
so it's good.
When I really spoke with my heart and soul.
And you were like,
in
these are the
Sinhalese.
problems of the country, yeah.
I spoke from the books.
So you were able to manage back then.
Yeah, I spoke in Singlish.
That's the problem.
I also spoke in English.
That's
the
also a bigger problem.
Oh, sorry.
So now you figure out what went wrong.
Exactly. What went wrong. Okay. I'm so happy that I had her. Literally, the last bus stop is here. She's flying off. So we'll speak more when we do come back. Do stick around. It's Danu. Welcome back to the show. We are in conversation with Kavindya Thennakoon, and we are enjoying some good food. Don't you
Very
agree?
good food. Very good food.
At Movenpick, Colombo. I must say, food never goes to waste with our team. They always consume it. It's a wonderful feeling. So, Kavindya, we were speaking about your dad. So, his correct principles in life and the true factors he wanted to follow cost him his life. So, was this a way your mum groomed you to always fight for the right no matter what?
Yeah, I think irrespective of where I was in life, she wasn't the pushy kind of parent. Like she was always very hands off. I think I was pushy on myself.
Yeah, and you were blessed with the brain and the looks.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at any moment she would always be like, you need to sit down and see, is this the right thing to do? See what your values are and then take a decision.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think that was like that one thing she always stood by, and I think that's something I also learned from her. The way she carried on her life. Being a single woman in this country is the hardest thing.
Definitely.
It's so hard.
And being so young, because
Yeah.
she has just started her life with,
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
her husband, her soulmate. Let's go to your time with the UN. How was it working with the UN? And these are like places that we read about. Like, you have worked there. I have seen the UN office when I drive by. Like, hi.
Nice buildings.
Nice building. There's a tree in
AC.
front. So,
There's a tree in front.
So tell me about your experience with the UN.
I think for me, my biggest learning from the UN is that this disconnect between where the problems are and where the UN is sitting. But I also got some incredible mentors from that experience who basically changed my life. My assigned mentor from my time at the UN is still my mentor to this date. And I think that's a testament to like investing in young women. But I think in terms of my experience at the institution, I think I realized that's not the kind of work I wanted to do.
Right.
So
That
that's all I will say.
Even the UN didn't satisfy you.
I have high standards.
High standards.
Very high standards.
Yeah. But I must say, are they all clean is the question. Is that
Yeah.
the question? Right. I wanted to ask you, while you were in Sri Lanka, something that I was also a part of, you really believed in educating the youth, and I think that's the biggest gift that we can give to anyone.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it doesn't need to always be through books. It can even be through skills, or even confidence is education, in my
Yeah.
opinion. To believe in yourself in some way or the other, because there are like 99% of people who are willing to say you are not worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, L'Oreal got it right. But but I wanted to ask you, you did a project here with many of your friends called
Without Borders.
Without Borders. I love the scale that they were working in, and also what I really liked about Without Borders was the fact that the workshops that you all did.
Which you also joined.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah. Tell me about this. Why did you all start it, and is it still running?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's still running, and it's nice to have there are paid full-time people now, which is kind of insane based on where we started.
When you know that you have been asking favors and now you actually...
I know, now you can be like, earlier be like, here, can you come volunteer for 2 hours? Like, Danu, are you free on Sunday to teach these kids? Which is really nice. I mean, I started in Daranagar, where I was born and raised. That's where my mum is from. We started in a really small temple teaching English to kids. We've started staying for 6 years now.
That's amazing.
Which has been, it's just beautiful to go back and see.
And it's not mandatory English is what you taught,
Yes,
right?
exactly. We started with English.
Yeah.
But
because
now...
in this country there's a norm that, the language is a huge factor.
Yes.
I understand the world does not speak Sinhalese.
Yeah.
But how important do you think English is?
I think right now, in terms of accessing information, because let's say you take learning programs here, now kids don't need to go to school. That's what COVID has done. You don't need to go into university. You don't need to go to school. So I think accessing that global universe of information, I think then language is important. But I think still tools like Google Translate are doing so well that you can still take a Coursera course and translate it yourself. But I think in terms of accessing information, that's important. But I think we should be able to talk in whatever language we're comfortable in.
That is true. No, I just wanted to ask this question for beauty pageants. There's a huge problem in Sri Lanka.
I mean, talk about beauty pageants and you.
Yeah. We made it to global news, darling.
You were everywhere.
Not me.
No, you also.
Yes. That was just the
No,
last...
I was showing, it's like this guy, I know, he's a friend of
I just got the last end of it. Like the
last bus.
Last bus.
Last
Again,
bus.
for that was the last bus. Now, this time in Sri Lanka, what brought you here?
So I came back. A part of the work with Without Borders is we're starting this tool called Tilly.
I heard about it. I was getting... You broke the news. Okay, tell me.
Sorry.
It's a box.
It's a box.
Yeah.
It's a learning box for 5 to 10-year-olds. So it's basically some programming that we had tested at Without Borders at some of our centers. It was doing really well. So we were like, why not create a standalone thing out of it? Yeah. So we got an investment from UNICEF recently. So that's the work I sort of came here for.
And how is it going? So how can one child get this box?
So right now we work with schools.
Okay.
So if a school is interested, they reach out to us and we train their teachers. So the topic is on social emotional learning. So we're teaching kids, how to feel and express their emotions.
Respecting gender.
Yes, and empathy and kindness. There's no point in teaching these at like 15, 16. It's way too late.
It starts then. Yeah. That's brilliant. And what's it called? How can people find it on Facebook?
So if you just Google Tilly Kids, you'll be able to see our website.
Tilly Kids.
Tilly Kids. Tilli.
Brilliant. You also have worked with Meta?
Yes.
The company that runs Facebook. Like, how is...
How did you know that?
How is Mark?
He's great.
Really?
He actually lives down my lane.
Mark? Oh my God.
That's like the only thing. When I die, I'll tell that to my grandkids.
Has he spoken to you?
I wish. I was running once and I saw, I think his wife happened to be his wife.
You should just run more. You should be a true show. Hello, Mark.
That's you. You'll be like, hi, how are you?
I'm using Facebook too. Look. Yeah, I've even written to him saying, I'm living down your lane. Hi. Yeah,
I stop by every day. Yeah.
But no, you couldn't have this conversation with him.
That's a little creepy,
Yeah, but here, you tell him, in Sri Lanka, he really has to filter these accounts, man. Oh, how many fake ones are there?
For you, you also have fake ones.
Ani, I got locked out of my own page. I had to nearly sleep with a few people to get it back. I got it back. Nearly. Even then,
even then you couldn't do it. Danu, what is this?
All right, let's get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. We have to get into mains. I've always loved
mains.
Yeah. I've always loved all three. We'll see you after this. Do stick around because we're going to talk about Stay with Meta and also the the definition of a woman that Sri Lanka has labeled as. Welcome back to the show. In conversation with Kavindya today, we stopped at your contribution with Meta.
Yes, you chasing Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is, of course,
that's where we stopped.
definitely
Yeah.
going to happen. If I ever come there to visit you, I'm going to be running around
I
this
would,
house.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Please tell me about how was it working with Meta and what did you do?
Yeah, so that's my sort of 9 to 5.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how much I can talk about it.
Ah, right, okay.
But,
so you work at Meta, that's it.
That's
Yeah. You could be anything from like making Mark's tea to
to
like running
the
like
company.
yeah.
Yes.
Done. Got it.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. Okay.
Or at one of the ends. Like making tea or.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, one
Either.
of them.
Either.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Now, I do want to speak to you about this thing called women now. You know, in Sri Lanka, there are a lot of people who have become voices, who find a cause, they're very passionate about it, then they become activists.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
About activism or.
Activism, we'll start with that. By the way, you can have your dessert while we talk.
I know, you were just like, do I do this or
Do it,
I'm
do
going
it.
to drink a little bit of water first
Huh.
to like cleanse
Cleanse the palate.
Yes.
I have already done that and got ready.
You're ahead of us, Danu. Always.
Thanks.
Okay.
Tell, will you tell?
Activism. I think in Colombo, this Colombo activism is a different thing, no?
Correct.
I just feel like a lot of the people are very removed from the problem. You know, like in Colombo, trying to fix problems you haven't seen or experienced or dealt with.
Yeah.
So I think there's this gap of expertise in sort of the causes you're advocating for. But I think besides that, it's great that people are coming out and voicing their concerns and voicing their opinions.
But
I
you
think
feel it's right. Now, I wanted to ask you, I know of so many who have used this whole card saying, you know, I come from Sri Lanka, we are a war country that really did get hit by the war, you know, on those lines. When they use it, especially in other countries, in European countries, there's so much of sympathy towards them and opportunities open up. And they might have not even seen a day of the war, but they have been in the country that's at
just
the war.
tangentially they were there.
Correct.
Yeah.
You would have
Yes.
come across these people.
Plenty every
And-
day.
Now, tell me
I
about
think
that.
I think that's exactly what I was saying. No, you're so removed from the problems that you're talking about and advocating for that you're actually taking up spaces that
Belongs to somebody else
somebody else
and deserving.
and deserve.
And I look a little bit this
Who?
way.
Oh, sorry. And who'll have like a more of a better say in sort of how they're talking about these issues, what problems they're highlighting, and the kind of expertise they bring to the table. Like you can be in Colombo, be a Sinhala Buddhist, live in Colombo 7, and not even feel or know what
Yeah,
war
you've been
even
so
means.
sheltered and
Yeah.
brought up so well. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I've actually seen
You
people
seem
who,
to have like personal experience with
I've
this.
actually seen people who have made speeches in London about how they come from a country that was war and how their opportunities were stripped away and like, you know,
Like, where were you?
where were you?
I know. Yeah.
Now, women, and the fact that we celebrate International Women's Day, it's okay. What is your opinion about
Women's
women's
Day.
right
Women's
rights?
rights, plural.
I got scared to say this.
I know, I was like, what is going
Yeah.
on? I think it's so long overdue.
And do you feel that we are all fighting on the same lines? Do you think people have just lost the plot at one point and they are just fighting for no reason in certain ways?
I think what I've seen, Danu, is that a lot of the battle is around wage inequality, what's happening with women in the estate sector. I'm just talking about Sri Lanka, right?
Of course.
Women who maternity leave, paternity leave, wage inequality, sexual harassment in workplaces, issues again, as I said, like women in estates. I think again it's because some of the women who are facing these issues every day in and out aren't in these spaces.
And they have got so immune to it.
Yes.
And they actually don't even know that's abuse, which is sad.
Yes, exactly.
And the people who are canvassing for it and earning off it are not the people who actually deserve it.
Exactly. I think the thing is, like, if you look at the development sector, large development agencies really sustain on the problem sustaining. Like, if the problem is there only, you'll get the grants and the money and all of that. So I think there's a bit of like co-opting of these spaces where you have people talking about women in the estates. You rarely have women in the estates coming into these spaces.
Or brought in there to give a very transparent statement
Of what they're facing.
Yeah. Now, the whole point about activism is the fact that it's so common that sometimes people fight about everything. Okay, we saw a dog, let's protect the dogs. And next day you're talking about a woman, then you're talking about a child, then you're talking about HIV. So you're completely confused as to what this person is passionately advocating for. My opinion about advocating for something, I always feel you need to raise your voice for something that you're passionately close to. Because if everyone takes up a very dear project, we can all create the right amount of awareness.
We can come together. Yeah.
What is your take on it? You would have seen a lot of people. Facebook is their playground.
I think for us, what happens is, for example, sex education. Like with Tilly, that was the core, right? Taking sex education to schools is really hard in Sri Lanka. So how do we start with something that's a little more milder? But then attention to even sex education, a lot of people start talking about it when there is something controversial happening, and then we lose that support.
I think Sri Lanka is still confused between sex education and porn.
Yes, or like, yes, exactly.
Correct. I also feel so.
Yeah.
Because
and
that's
also
why we become highly searched for, because we are searching for sex. We are not searching for the porn that you might want to see.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And also I think like people, like this, even this word sex, you assume like we're teaching kids
Yeah.
to go and have sex.
Correct.
And I'm like, that's such an essential part of life.
Yeah.
And if you're not talking about it, and then they're like, oh, look at all these children getting like pregnant. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's because they didn't know that this could create a pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think to that point, I think there are lots of people who take up space when there is a buzz around it. And then it takes the voices away from people who've been working in this space for many years.
Yes, true.
So I think
And
that's...
I also feel that we need to be intelligent enough to go and support the bodies that have proven the fact that their existence is with a purpose.
Yeah.
And that's very important. Now, I wanted to ask you, there was a time when she was on TV as well, hosting shows, and there was this a cute status that she put on Facebook, which I'll never forget. Every girl needs a little black dress. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Do you still have a little black dress?
I do. I do. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know why I'm getting like emotional with
I
it.
know, I remember this. But she's also a high cover girl. She was one of the youngest to ever hit the covers. I must say, I've done so many shows and I've had so many people. It's very rare you find somebody who you're so proud to sit and talk to. And you're one of those people. You have not forgotten your roots. You have not forgotten Sri Lanka. You have gone to the US. You have gone to England. You have won an award from the Queen. You have done it all. You have met her in person. Yet you have kept it to who you are and didn't become Kavi. K. I'm K today, not Kavindya. So thank you. Thank you for being so honest.
Oh, Danu.
Are you tearing?
No, I'm not. No, you started with the black dress. No, give me that.
All right. Well, I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to have you on all the shows. And
Yes.
yes, and I'm so proud of all what you've achieved, and I really hope that the sky is the limit, and you will get your PhDs and win the Nobel Peace Prize. I want to be there. Okay, when you're winning it.
You will always be there, Danu.
Not even a message in the last 10 years.
Not. That is lies.
True.
You messaged me, I immediately replied back.
Because I messaged. All right, on that note, we need to wrap things up on the show. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you so much, Danu.
Thank you to Mohan Colombo for hosting us. We love the food so much. As you could see, we have circled up a little bit. We'll see you soon with another cool episode. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.